JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 12th of October 2020. Welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's afternoon session, quick session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets and a few of the charts, as always. But before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. Feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, jumping into the charts, now the first one I want to pick up here is the German index, DAX, and you can see that the index today is trading slightly in the positive territory. This morning I talked about this one, and what I was saying that keep your eyes on this 13,116 level, because that's this is where the cash index kind of opened up today, or not the cash index, sorry, the main index opened up. The cash index during the morning, during my morning video, was trading already slightly above it. As you can see today, it continues to do so. Did have a bit of a decline initially, but yep, managed to get back above this zone again, and so far so good, to be honest. I mean, the index is trying to make its way higher. However, of course, let's see how the US session will open up, and if later on the US session will bring either forward the cash index of the German index of DAX here, or it will push a little bit lower. But again, for now, what I can say is that everything's still looking quite positive. Let's see if this one can push further north. My next target here is this 13,263 territory, marked by the high of the 18th of September. We can see that our oscillators here, the RSI and the MACD, are pointing higher currently, so that's great news. That's on the daily chart, of course. And in addition to that, the MACD recently just popped kind of back above this zero line, and it's back in the positive zone. So in a way, the two indicators here are supporting the upside scenario, but of course we'll be very careful. For now, I'm keeping an eye on this level here, this 13,116 zone, marked by the low of the 18th of September. If the price today stays above it, then there's a bigger chance for this one to move a little bit further north. The NASDAQ 100, and as you can see on Friday, we had a nice pop higher. Most importantly, that it pushed above this 11,566 territory that did play as a good resistance area recently, and as you can see, like for almost the whole week last week, this level here, this area here, kind of provided good resistance and a good hold up. But on Friday, the bulls managed to kind of lift this one above it, and yep, it closed around here, not far from that, well, actually around the 11,725 territory. Now, if we look at the cash index and where it's currently balancing at, we can see that the price is still pushing higher, and we can see that the price is currently at around 11,940 mark. So basically, what we have here ourselves is a nice opening gap, or should I say, will have a nice opening gap to the upside, which will be around 200 points higher here, so basically quite a decent up move. And if that remains in play, if the buying interest will stay here, then of course all eyes are on that psychological 12,000 territory, which is around here. Let me just probably mark this one on the chart, because you can see that we had a bit of a kind of a hold up here on the around the 28th of August here, not far from this area. So that's what I'm saying. So for now, my target is that psychological 12,000 territory, and slightly above that we do have that 12,167 zone, which marks the high of the 31st of August and the inside swing low of the 2nd of September. But again, let's keep in mind that yes, we will have a nice opening, big opening gap here to the upside, but let's not exclude the possibility of maybe having maybe part of that gap get filled. If so, then yep, there could be a bit of a correction here to the downside, and I'll take it from there. If we see something like that, then I'll probably pick up on this one tomorrow and see where it could go next, because let's not forget that we also have this little short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 24th of September, which also could kind of play out nicely here if we see a bit of a correction lower. But again, for now, looking at everything, what's happening right on the cash index, everything seems to be more positive than negative, and let's keep an eye on that psychological 12,000 zone. If the buyers see that a level is just a temporary obstacle, then well, the next target here could be that 12,167 mark. So yep, let's see how all this is going to play out, but at the moment it's quite interesting. The US dollar index. So another index, but this one is a dollar index, and yep, of course, after we tested this downside line taken from the high of the 23rd of March, as you can see, we started drifting lower. Now, last time when I looked at this one, I told you guys that if this downside line continues to provide resistance, then of course a bit of a decline here again could be possible. So yes, we got our decline. Then after that, what I told you guys to keep an eye on this 93.37 territory, because if that gets broken, then this is where lower levels could be met. Now previously I talked about this 92.24 territory as being the next potential good area of support. It still is, but I'll probably keep an eye on this one right here first, the 92.79 level, which, as you can see, acts as a fantastic area of support here back around mid-September. From where the index rebounded and made its way higher. So let's keep an eye on this level first, because if it provides a good support, then of course something like this here could be possible, where we could see a bit of a rebound here, and then we could maybe even go and retest this downside line again. So let me just draw this one nicely. So something like this could be possible, like I said, but at the moment, yes, I am targeting this 92.79 level. If that provides good support, we could see a bit of a rebound here, but if it fails to do so, then of course the next target is this one right here, the highlighted one, which is around the 92.24 level. So let's keep an eye on this one. WTI oil. So of course, if the US dollar continues to decline, then well, I mean, this could play out nicely here for WTI oil. So that's why I'm not abandoning this upside scenario yet. Last week I talked about this one, and last week I told you that in order to aim for some higher levels, we need that confirmation break here above this 41.46 level first. Until then, I'm just gonna remain probably a little bit more, let's say, cautiously bullish. On the positive note here as well, that the price is still kind of hanging around above the 21-day EMA and the 100-day EMA here. So that's, yeah, that could be seen as a good sign. However, like I said, wait for that confirmation break above the 41.46 level first if you want to aim for some higher levels. If you're looking for some downside, well, of course, previously I looked at this level, the 38.74 territory, and to be honest, not maybe exactly that level, but the area around here could stay of interest to the bears, because as you can see, this level here acted as a very nice area of support here back on the 30th of July, also on the 21st of September, and also it was seen as a bit of an intraday swing high here, not an intraday, inside swing high here of the 2nd of October. So yeah, that's why maybe I'll keep an eye on this level here, the 38.74. A nice good drop below it may clear the path towards slightly lower levels. However, now previously I had this arrow kind of, or should I say I still have this arrow pointing towards this 36.15 level, but what I would probably suggest is, yes, you could keep an eye on that area, but first watch out for this little upside support line taken from the low of the 9th of September. Now, of course, if it drifts lower and then breaks this upside line, of course we'll start looking at this 36.15 level. But if this upside line somehow provides support, then yep, could see something like this happening, where the commodity could rebound and push higher again. But of course, all this is in the scenario if we get a drop below this 38.74 territory. If the price continues to balance above these two EMAs, then all eyes are on this barrier here, this 41.46 zone, and a nice good pop above it would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and the next target here could be this 43.75 zone marked by the highest point of August. Ripple, a quick update on Ripple. The crypto is declining here a little bit, however it still remains above this downside line taken from the high of the 17th of August. Now, as you can see today, it did drift lower but found very good support just bang on this line, from which it rebounded a little bit. It still keeps that positivity in the air, however, just to be a little bit more maybe on the safe side, wait for that push above this 0.2550 territory first, and then yep, we could consider some higher levels. Now, jumping into a few pairs now, AUDCHF, I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, and what you can see here is, to be honest, it seems to be getting into a bit of a squeeze here. So basically, first of all, it's trading still below this downside resistance line taken from the high of the 2nd of September. But on the other hand, the pair is still stuck above the 200-day EMA, and also it's kind of stuck here above this level, the low of the 14th of August, near the 0.6493 zone. So in other words, this could be forming a potential descending triangle, and of course, according to all the TA rules, these tend to break to the downside. However, we cannot talk about the downside yet until we get that confirmation break here below this area there. Not this one, but let me just adjust. Oh, there we go. So this area right here, guys, if you want to look at some lower levels, probably wait for a break below this zone, below this hurdle, because a nice good drop below it would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and yep, further declines here could be possible. In terms of the upside, well, pretty straightforward. We need to see a break of this downside line first, and maybe just in addition to that, a push above the high of the 1st of October here, or in other words, the current highest point of October near the 0.6617 mark, and then yes, higher levels could be met. USDJPY, you can see that the pair is drifting lower. Now it's kind of getting back below some of these levels that I talked about last week, the 105.80 zone, 105.70. So basically, let's get rid of that now, and mainly focus on this 105.30 territory, which seems to be the more important one somehow for this pair. And as I mentioned before to you guys, if you want to aim for some lower levels, then yes, wait for a drop, a good drop below this 105.30 territory. Ideally also maybe the daily candle remaining below this hurdle could do the trick for more sellers, and we could see this one sliding further south. Now in terms of the upside, well, a move maybe back above the 21-day EMA could maybe again increase the chances of a possible move towards this downside line taken from the high of the 24th of March, and then yes, we could take it from there. GBPUSD, so this one continues to remain above this 1.30 zone, so that's good news for the buyers, or should I say could be good news for the buyers. However, today is not really moving much, so for now I will take a bit of a cautiously bullish approach here. If we get a move somewhere above this little target here, the low, the 24th of August, which is around the 1.3055 zone, a nice good pop above it, yep, may increase the pair's chances of moving a little bit further north here. Now jumping into a euro against the Turkish lira, and this one I talked a lot about this one last week, and yes, after creating a new all-time high for this pair, let me just recycle one of these lines here. So after hitting the 9.37 territory, you can see the pair corrected a little bit lower. However, to be honest, it's still a bit difficult here if you're looking for some short positions here. I mean, it's still a bit of a tricky one, because in a way it could do the same thing as it did here back in the beginning of October, where on 1st of October we saw a nice decline here. Then it did correct lower. However, it still remained above this psychological 9 territory, and from here you can see that it kind of rallied again and created a new all-time high. So keep your eyes on this level right now, this 9.2151 zone, roughly around here. That marks the high of the 29th of September, or in other words, the highest point of September. Now if we get a drop below this, then yes, maybe we could consider a bit of a decline here, but if it struggles to move below this area, then maybe another push higher here could be possible. And finally, Euro USD. So although there's not much excitement here on this pair, the pair still remains above that 118 territory, and as I've mentioned this morning, if it continues to trade here above that hurdle, then there is a good still a chance for this one to move higher towards the area somewhere near the 1.1917 zone, or even above that if this barrier is to kind of is just seen as a temporary obstacle for the bulls. But again, for now, the fact that it's still trading above this 1.18 zone, that's still is somewhat positive. So yep, we'll continue aiming slightly to the upside here, but in case this pair suddenly reverses sharply back down, drops below the 21-day EMA and falls below this 1.1696 territory, now this is where it could become a little bit more interesting for the sellers. So guys, I really hope you found it useful. This was a quick overview here of a few instruments. So if you want to catch my video tomorrow morning, as always, my Trader's Espresso, that's 6 o'clock GMT time. For now guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.